When I say don't trust these men, I mean do not trust these men. I am going to string together the wildest series of sentences that arguably I have ever heard, have ever thought to say, because of what I just saw and then what I just read will make you want to spray every man with acid. You know what, Shayna? That's a crime. That's a crime. Will make you want to stay. Will make you want to keep that social distancing rule from every man. Oh my God. It all started with this video. I just happened to hop into this video. I will be tagging this video below, or the creator below, right? So she just gently dropped after like 2 mimosas or mojito, some cocktail with an M, that there is a story of a man who went so deep. There was an undercover cop who was like, oh, I'm gonna commit to the bit that he got married and had a child with the person that he was supposed to be undercover for like 19 years. And then it came out that he was not any of the things that he consistently lied to this person about. And then I was like, wait. My brain did an off and on, because I was like, a 19-year sting operation where you had a child with somebody? And then somebody in the comments was like, if you are undercover for 19 years, then clearly you're not good at your job. And I was like, so I had to find the article. I had to find the article to find out more, because this creator said that she was going to come out with it like a day later. And I'm like, I can't wait that long. So this is the article from the BBC, the undercover cop, his lover, and their son. I will be tagging the link to this below. But if you're on the Clock app, then so sorry. You would just Google it. Now, I will not be reading all of this because there is way too much information to take in, but I would like to just use a couple of screenshots to point out some very pertinent information. One, the Metropolitan Police is going to be paying £425,000 to this woman who had no idea that the child of her father was an undercover cop. The entire time this man went, she was in labor and he was with her. He was like, oh, well done, Jack. And wrote her a little note. And then he disappeared 2 years later, leaving this woman a single mother, drenched in confusion. Now, I can't remember exactly how long that they were in a relationship, but like, this is the woman, this is Jackie, and this is her son when they were small. And this man played the role. Right up here, he was saying, she was like, oh yeah, like 3 decades ago, I met this man at, who was an animal, she was an animal rights activist. And he was also like, oh yeah, I'm also an animal rights activist. Yum, 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 yum. How nice is that? But supposedly, he was not supposedly, he was in a special demonstration squad to infiltrate the commanders suspected that were dangerous fringes of London's animal rights scene. Quick pause, because I actually read what this is. No, from what I personally understand about this, yes, she was an animal rights activist, but she was something called a animal saboteur, a hunt saboteur, which, correct me if I'm wrong, that's literally the people that just stop hunts from happening, stop people from hunting the most majestic and endangered species that used to roam free on this earth. That's what she did. And they're like, oh, no, they're dangerous. We need to stop them. How are we going to stop them? We are going to impregnate them. We're going to impregnate them. We're going to make them fall in love with us, and then we're going to abandon them. That's how we are going to stop this incredibly dangerous situation. People are literally getting shot on your streets and stabbed on your streets. People are actually dying. There are so many abuse cases that are going on, but no. This is where we're going to be putting our efforts towards. Years and years and years of efforts towards animal rights, making women fall in love with us who are trying to stop people from murdering animals. Now, I am going to read this section because, dear God, everything I possibly thought of, my foundations don't exist anymore. I don't even know if they ever will, she says. All of your turning from a girl to a woman, your first love, your first pregnancy, your first time you give birth, being a mom for the first time. People have all those memories, but mine are all tainted. I haven't got them. My foundations are all built on sand. They're not real. Nothing in the past 30 years of my life has been real. Jackie was 22 when she first met Bob. in 1984. Like her, he was an animal rights activist, although she was genuinely a hunt saboteur, which I've already discussed what that is, right? He was just posing as one to gather information on potential threats to public safety. Oh, the people that are out there shooting elephants? Yeah. When I say men will lie, they will lie to, he didn't have to do all of this to gather information, but no, he took the extra step and said, yeah, okay, I could just do my job or I could inflict trauma. I could just do my job or I could create a person to traumatize for the rest of their life. I could just, and the way that these men find ways to inflict pain onto women and children, to literally reduce somebody's sense of reality to sand. My God. And just at the top here, he was in relationships with 4 women. 4 different women. 2 of them became long-term relationships, but he decided that he was going to stick with Jackie. But he also had a whole other family, a whole other wife and kids. Multiple, plural, kids. So he would spend half the week with his wife and kids, and he'd spend the other half of the week with Jackie. And let's just focus on here. When Jackie said that she was expecting a baby, he did not try to persuade her to terminate the pregnancy. He said that he would stand by her, and she believed him. I loved him. I definitely loved him. When I say we need to stay away, and listen, oh my God, this poor woman, and this is genuinely what it all boils down to. How better to get into a protest movement, not only to have a relationship, but to have a child with an activist. And it's not just to get into the protest movement, it is to derail the activist, because she could no longer do what her passion was. She could no longer do her mission. She could no longer be as a part of the group as she initially was. Why? Because he impregnated her intentionally, so that way she could no longer focus on her mission. The way that these men use children as a means of not just a sabotage. And it's so unfortunate for both the woman and the child, because the child is just the means to an end. The end of what? The end of the woman. That's all the way. When I say that I am child-free for multiple reasons, I mean I am child-free for multiple reasons. And every day I discover a new reason to pat myself on the back. Now I want to talk about this little highlighted segment for a brief second, because it brings up something so important. They won't admit that they use sex as a way to gather information and intelligence, because it all seemed to have happened one way. Undercover men, officers, and female activists. Okay, I don't know who wrote this article. I can't remember seeing the name of the writer, but it would not surprise me if it is a man. Why? Because they did not use sex as a means of gathering information. They used love as a means of gathering information. Sex is the way that men think about it. They're like, oh yeah, like it's not my fault that I'm hot. It's not my fault. Like, yeah, sex. Like, sex is the most important thing in the world. No. Community. No. The family unit. Whatever that means to you. Having people together that love and care about you is the most important thing. And that was the means of manipulation, not sex. They used love. They manipulated love, destroyed people's realities, shattered their futures, created a castle of illusions that they could ignite in a moment, because they're like, they know the levels of gaslighting. The levels of gaslighting that this poor woman and child that this baby was marinated in. It's not sex. It's about the manipulation of love that means so much to women, and clearly does not mean a whole lot to the other demo. Also, this is the demon. This is the problem. But also, he wasn't the only one. There was another guy during this exact same time that was also put on trial because of doing the exact same thing. Now, as the police are out over 425,000 pounds, right? What do they have to say? We recognize the impact that the revelation that he was an undercover cop must have had on her and her son. And deep. You know what? Okay, I'm going to read this as like an I statement. From the onset, I have dealt with this as a lengthy case with professionalism and sensitivity, completely understanding the gravity. They don't care. They don't care. They go on to say, we, the police, we did our best and we're the most professional. They don't care. Arguably, this will happen to thousands of other women because men are insane. Stay safe out there.